You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Oh, welcome everyone to Make Your Day Richer. I am Richard Wilmore, your host for the day, and hopefully every day, because we do this Monday through Friday, and we hope you join us. And obviously some people are joining us because we just hit 77,000 views and downloads of the show. So thank you so much for everybody who watches this show, shares it, loves it, all kinds of ways to interact and support this show, because we get to introduce you to amazing people every day, and I'm so glad and honored to get to do that. Speaking of which, where did it go? I want to say thank you to Mark for buying some coffee for us. And it's a great, easy way to support this show right here. If you are interested, if you don't have, a commercial and a business that you want to promote on here, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher. You get your name in the end credits. You get a shout out like this. It's very exciting. So please head over to buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher and support the show. All right. Also, so yesterday I was talking about the Touch a Truck and tree lighting ceremony event in Waxhaw on the 23rd. And I kept saying next weekend. This is how I know time is flying and I'm getting old, is that it is this weekend. It is days away. So I don't know what you're doing this Saturday, but you should come to Waxhaw, North Carolina. It's from 3 to 6. It's going to be really, really fun and a great family-friendly event at the downtown park. And I will be your MC. And even more importantly, Santa will be there. And that's really why I'm showing up. So they're also looking for volunteers. So if you'd like to volunteer for that event, we'll put the website in the comments during the break, because I can't do that now because I say we, but it's really me. So during the break, look in the comments. And if you'd like to volunteer for that event, they would greatly appreciate your help. Okay. Hey, so I need to confess to something, and I need your support and I need your solutions. I'm having a really hard time getting motivated to go to the gym. Is anybody else this time of, I don't know if it's this time of year, if it's just that life is again flying by and I feel very busy, and the show is so much fun to do, and my business is Make Your Day Richer. I do video editing and production and podcast production and creative direction, all that fun stuff. Yet I'm so busy that I just want to sleep when I'm not working. And so I'm having a really hard time waking up for the gym, and it has been too many days since I've gone. And so I need your help. How do you stay motivated? What gets you going to the gym? How often do you go? And can you call me in the morning? I'm supposed to be waking up at 4 in the morning. That's half the problem right there, is what most people are going to say. But I don't have time otherwise. So anyway, if you want to call me at 4 in the morning and wake me up and tell me that you're going, that would be greatly appreciated. I'll put my number. I won't put my number down there. But yeah, tell me how you're dealing with that. Or are you struggling? We need a support group. I'll get back. We'll get back. I'll see that bill every month come out for the gym and get mad about it, and then I'll go. Or my pants will not fit, or you'll see me in a different jacket, and and I won't fit in this one, and then I'll have to get a new one, and then I'll be mad at myself. Whatever, it's fine. You know what? There are worse things that could happen, right? I don't know. You try to eat healthy, which is also difficult when you work from home. So you have to be very strict on what groceries come into your house, right? Like, I have no willpower. If there's a loaf of bread, that loaf of bread is lasting an hour. If there are cookies, I'm eating all of them. So try to put good things in the house. What we did is, you know how you have the drawers for the fruits and the vegetables, and then on your doors of your refrigerator, you put all your condiments. We flipped that. So we put all of our apples, we get apples, pears, plums, and carrots, all of our like greens, all that stuff, and we put those on the door. So when you open it, that's all right there and easy to grab, as opposed to like going through drawers and digging and then you don't see it. Because when you want ketchup, you're going to go find the ketchup. But when you open the refrigerator, and then it's pretty, it's also like bright and colorful, and it looks like a little farmer's market. So that's what we do. That's your tip for the day, your PSA. Okay. Outside of this program, like I was saying, I help other podcasts and live streams with production. And my good friend, Amy Lindner Lesser, who was on the show last week, great episode, go watch it, hosts a podcast called Inntrospection. And I say introspection because there are two N's in the beginning of the first two N's, Inntrospection, Introspection.com is her website, her podcast. That's also what it's called, From Grief to Growth. And we're navigating life transitions. It's a great podcast that she has. She talks to amazing people. She also has a really supportive Facebook group that she has put together. Anyway, she has a new episode that comes out today, wherever you get your podcasts. And I want to show you a clip because it's a great podcast. So take a look.
But, you know, like what is important? What's the piece, right, that resonates with me? So, yeah, it's about going deeper, right? It's about going deeper. But it's hard for people, Amy, to let go of that literal piece, right? It's a tough one. Yeah.
Well, we want answers. We don't like unanswered questions. And I think our minds, therefore, go to the easiest way.
And the safest. And, the safest way, because we're all vulnerable. So, it's safe to accept that, right? It's like, oh, yeah, so that's what it was about. And then but when people go, and you're working with, especially in a group situation, it's like, oh my, where did that come from? And so the mind the brain and the mind is fascinating.
A great interview out there, available now. Inntrospection, Introspection, the podcast. Okay. Thank you, Amy, for letting me play with you on that podcast. It's so much fun. All right. I think that's it. It's Tuesday all day. We're a week away from my dad coming to visit. A week away. My dad lives in Wisconsin. I'm in South Carolina. And he flies in next week. Actually, we're filming this right now. It's 10:06 a.m. And he arrives at 10:30 next Tuesday. And he will be here until the 9th of December. That is the longest he has ever been in my home. We have a lot planned, which is going to be really fun. And also exhausting, when you're used to living your life in a very scheduled way. And so we'll see. But my dad's great. He's wants to come out and spend Thanksgiving with us. And he found out that I was emceeing the Waxhaw Christmas parade. And so he wanted to come back. What he was going to do was fly home after Thanksgiving and then come back the following week to watch the parade, because he wanted to see the Christmas parade. And so I said, why don't you just stay here? Wouldn't that be fun if you just stay here? And he said, yeah, that sounds like a plan. So that'll be fun. So maybe we'll get an update from him, because he was on the show when he was here last time. When was that? I don't even know. Months ago. All right, we have a really good show. So at the beginning of November, I went to the Inkpreneurs Summit in Winston-Salem and met some amazing authors and writers and editors and people in the publishing industry. It was a really, really great weekend. And one of the people I met was Elizabeth Carroll, who has written like a dozen books, I think 11, And she's so fun. And so we set up a little booth at the Inntrospection Summit, and I interviewed her. And it was very fun. And so the background's going to look a little bit different. Also, because we're not here with great internet during this interview, some of the videos not so great. But the volume, our speaking is fun, so you'll be able to hear it. Just sometimes we get a little laggy, but that's okay. It was a really good interview, and she's a great person, and I want to introduce you to her. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the one and only Elizabeth Carroll, who took 25 years to write one book, and you're going to hear about that. So we'll be right back after this.
Is whispering secrets to you about the life you're here to live. Decode the messages about the joy you're meant to experience despite, or maybe because of, the condition that upended everything you thought you knew. If you're ready to make magic and meaning of your one wild and precious life, learn more about coaching with Nona at nonajordan.com.
Elizabeth Carroll, thank you
Hi.
so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
We are, if you're watching and you're a normal viewer of this program, you're like, where is he? He's in New York today. Well, I'm not. I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the Inntrospection Summit. And I met Elizabeth. And, you know, when you have a library of books, you should probably be on this program to talk about them. This is not even all of your books. We're missing one.
We're missing one, yes.
Your newest one, Breaking Free, Stories of Escape and Survival, is an anthology. I might steal this right now.
Yes.
You probably have a booth here. I can probably go buy it,
Yeah.
but I'd rather steal it. No, I support the authors. Tell everybody about that. I've learned a lot about anthologies here. We've had a lot of anthologies on this show already, co-authors
Right.
from anthologies. Tell everybody what this one's about.
This is my writers group. There's a lot of us in the Triangle area, and we meet once a month to critique and support each other. And during COVID, this is actually our third anthology that we've put out. But during COVID, when everybody wanted to escape, that's when we got the idea that maybe we should write stories for escape, because nobody could go anywhere. And it took a while to get there because we were limited on how many times we could actually meet and work together. But all the stories in here, the characters are trying to escape and or survive something. So it's a really good mix of stories. There's horror, there's suspense, there's one that really makes me laugh. A little old Jewish grandmother locks up her grandson-in-law because she doesn't like him. She locks him in the basement, and that one's always
Are
fun.
these
I didn't write
fiction
that
or
one.
nonfiction?
These are fiction.
Okay, just checking.
These are fiction. No, mine is Whiskey in the Jar, where the character is her fiance humiliates her in a huge way, and she runs away to Ireland because why not? That's
Why not?
fun.
Especially during COVID, you were like, anywhere.
Anywhere but here. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, she realizes that maybe he's not the person that she should be marrying. So it's kind of getting away from a bad relationship. But there's a good mix in here. So that's why I like anthologies.
I love the idea of anthologies because, one, you get to connect with other people, right?
Right.
And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, in my head, I'm not a writer, not an author. I just do this, and I'm always with people. But in my head, it's such a like it can be such an isolating job.
Yes.
And so to be able to like be around people and be, is that right at all? Or am I
It is
thinking
right,
about-
because
okay.
writing is a solitary venture. You can't like write if you're at a conference because there's too much going on, too many distractions. So that's why we do meet, so we can support each other and
Yeah.
help each other over the bumps and hurdles. And
And where are all of your books available?
Amazon, and I also have my own website,
Good.
which is booksbybeth.net.
And we'll have that'll be at the bottom of the screen for everybody.
Okay.
How long have you been writing? Your
I
entire life?
actually wrote this book when I was in the 8th grade.
Oh my gosh.
I was in the 8th grade. Now, it is not what I wrote in the
Is
8th
this the one that
grade.
took you 25 years to write?
No,
Okay.
that's enough.
25 years it took her to write a book.
But you just became my favorite person on the planet to think that I'm not actually that young. Like you just like became my favorite person on the planet.
Well, you're
Love
welcome.
you. No, I wrote this, and then over the years, as I learned more and more about writing, I revised it and I published it. And this book was my first book published, and it came out in April of 2009. And I can remember that because my son was born in March, and then this book came out. So I had 2 babies at one time.
Which was more nerve-wracking?
The son.
Okay, just checking, just checking.
Yes,
And then
yes.
maybe it was like your third son. You were like, just get him out.
That
Out of time.
my first baby. So yes, but
Oh.
that, and then I wrote the rest of the series over the next few years.
So what draws you to writing fiction opposed to nonfiction?
I don't like real life.
Oh,
I mean, it's more fun for fiction because
mhm.
you know, real life is hard.
Yeah.
And at least in fiction, if I'm having a bad day, I can beat up on somebody
Uh-huh.
without actually hurting anybody. Right.
Yeah, you can put them in your basement and lock them in your
Yeah,
basement.
lock him in the
You can do
basement. That
everything.
wasn't me.
Sure.
That was another writer who wrote that one. But that one made me laugh because she's a little Jewish grandmother and she speaks with all the little Jewish phrases. And it's a funny story. So
That would be like a really good movie.
it would be a good
Very
movie.
good movie. Okay, so one of the things we had talked about that I had a question about. Okay, so you write a book. Like, let's say this book is this thick, right? How many
Right.
pages is this?
That one's like maybe 300, right around 300.
And so when you're writing this, is it, as a writer, when you're writing, are you writing just until you think the story is done and then you decide, like you have this, which is a series,
Right.
or is this all of them?
That's it.
Okay. How do you know that like the story's not going to end in the middle of this one? How does that make sense?
It does.
It's probably not making sense to y'all, but I just want to know how you get, like, because you're in charge of this story. So like, how do you know this is going to be 3 books, or do you write and go, oh, this is too many pages, this has to be broken up?
Well, that was it because
Okay.
this was the first book in the series, and I got to thinking about, well, this needs and this and this and this, and then the book would have been this thick,
Right.
which nobody's going to read
It's like
because
Harry Potter.
nobody reads War and Peace, and
Yeah.
that's what it was going to be. I mean, and I was like, so let's break it up. And then I just sort of mapped out like, okay, this is the introduction to the characters and the world and all of that stuff. And then this one, you introduce the villain and start to build up the conflict and the ascension. And then this one is really fun because this is where the magic and the dragons show up in this one, because of course it's fantasy, so there has to be dragons. They show up in this one, and then eventually, like, she has done her job saving her charges, and now it's their turn to save her because she's the one that's in trouble. And that brings it all to an end.
Who would you say the books are for? Or are they all for different
ages?
Yeah.
So the series is really ages 12 and up.
Okay.
Can read it. It's young adult fantasy. It's clean. I don't go that crazy. This one is the 25-year book. The Swinging Doors.
Swinging Doors. Let's show the people the
This
Swinging
one.
Doors, and they were very probably creaky by the time the 25 years was over.
Right.
A lot of WD-40.
Lots of WD-40. Yes, this was 25 years. I got this idea when I was a sophomore in college, and this is historical fiction, and it's about a prostitute in the late 19th century. So again, not for children.
Right.
Yes, but it's a hard read, but it's probably like my favorite book because it did take 25 years to write, because I kept writing myself into a corner. And if you've ever written a story, that happens a lot, because I wasn't listening to my characters. And then they finally started smacking me on the head and going, no, this character's miscast, this character's miscast, this character's miscast. Why is this character even in the story? And I was like, oh, you know what? Let's do a whole rewrite. And
Interesting.
it was fun. Yeah.
I'm always fascinated by writers, because I am the person who's like, I'm going to write my story. I'm going to write a book. And then I start it, and I get so, as I'm the least organized person, as you've probably figured out over these past 2 days when I have had 2 speeches and haven't prepared any of them, show up and go, let's chat. That I felt like I was so unorganized. Is there a lot of organization that goes in before, during, and after writing a book? Or
Some writers would say yes.
I
am not one of those writers. I just sit down and just start writing.
Wow.
And then I end up with the notepads full of stuff and sticky notes all over the place. And I finally reach a point where I have to print the pages out because I can't I can't work from the computer. I reach a certain stage and I'm like, I need the paper in front of me so I can scribble on it. Because when I write myself into a corner, I need to like physically write it out. And so I've got the papers in front of me and I'm going, well, I move this and do this and fix this. And then I go back and I rewrite it.
Like
So
a private investigator, like the people on those shows that have strings going here and there and there, figuring that out.
Right.
Pictures.
Yes, I am not an organized writer.
Okay.
I just sort of, I do organization in steps. I'm at the point now where I need to organize
and
a few things.
Absolutely needed.
Right.
It's either I've never published this book or I need to get organized.
I need to get organized and write it. I can't do. We have a member in our writers group. She's very organized. I don't know how her brain works that way. I'm like that. And that's too much energy. Like, I'm like, I just want to sit down and write, figure it out as I go along.
Yeah.
It may take 25 years to figure it out.
Imagine how great this book is after 25 years.
It's really good.
Yeah. We're going to take a break and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about your books and all the other stuff.
Yay.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
All right, we're back with Elizabeth Carroll. I want to talk about, okay, these are all of her books. First of all, here's the series, all available on Amazon. This is an anthology. This is a
historical fiction.
Took 25 years to write. So there you go.
Make sure you read that one. 25 years.
Yes. Do you have a favorite book?
I would have to say this one for 25 years, but then again, The Secret Keeper, because it was my first. And you know, that just holds a special place in your heart. But in the series, I really love The Gateway because the dragons show up. So.
There you go.
There we go.
What inspires you to start a book or to write or to be like tap into that creative side?
Well, my mind never shuts off. And I think I would be certifiably crazy if I didn't write because, you know, there's just so much noise in my head and different things inspire me to write. You know, it's whatever. It doesn't take much. I mean, I could see a frog hopping down the street and I'm like, that's an idea.
The way he hops.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. The way he hops.
Do you have like a plan? Well, no, you're not an organizer. This is probably an irrelevant question, but like, what do I want to ask myself or ask you? Like how many books you want to put out in a certain amount of time? Or do you have a plan or does it just kind of like come? No plan. Okay, that's the
25
answer.
years.
25 years. Yes.
We've answered that question.
Yes. That's true.
I'm trying to be better. Like with the writing group that I'm in, we try for one anthology per year. We got thrown off because of COVID, but our next anthology should be out spring of 25.
You'll come back and talk about that.
Yes, I'll find you.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I also want to talk about the importance of connecting with authors because with other people who are in the same world that you're in, no matter kind of whatever you're in. Why do you join writers groups? Why do you come to things like the Inntrospection Summit? Why is that important to you?
It's a learning thing for me. Like, you know, as a writer, you can sit in your little shed and write and write and write, but at some point you need feedback. And you can always learn something from other people. I've learned a lot from the people in my writers group over the years, things to do, things not to do. And my writing has gotten so much better because of that. But even with them, there kind of reaches a stalemate. We try to hire new people into the group every once in a while just to get a fresh voice, a fresh take on things. And so coming to things like this gives me a chance to talk to other people, meet new people, do new experiences, such as be on a podcast, which I've never done before. So this is fun.
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you. And just I did the Bookmarks Book Festival back in October, which is where I met Ella, who told me about this, and I came here and listening and learning and just talking to people about what they do. And, that's important to keep the creativity going, keep that energy going, because you can tap out, tap out a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it takes, that can be exhausting, right? Yes.
It can
Maybe
be.
a lot of people would have been like, maybe this is not the right book and I should move on, but not you.
Not me. I persevered.
Nice. What are you working on now?
The short story for the next anthology. And then I also have a 5-book series that I'm working on. And I finished the first 2. They're not published yet, but they're finished, And so now I'm working on book 3 of that series, which is sort of, I don't even know how to describe it, but there's some history in it. I love history. So any way I can work history into my stories, I'm going to. So there's like past lives and history and
Fun.
Yes.
That's exciting. For all of those things, please come back on the show whenever you want. What do you love most about your life right now?
About my life right now? Just everything. I mean, I've got a great son and a great husband, and I have time to write, even around the teaching. And my students don't drive me too crazy, so that's a blessing. Yes.
You're a teacher?
I am a teacher.
Do you want to say hi to your class or anything?
Hi, guys.
Hi. What do you teach?
English. High school English.
Of course you do. Why would I even ask?
Right.
Elizabeth Carroll, what is the best way that people can connect with you and follow you?
I'm on Instagram at Books by Beth 72, and my website is bookbybeth.
Booksbybeth.net.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
5 times really fast.
And you
And
win,
you win a
ball.
book.
Oh, yes. And a signed book.
Yes.
And all the books are available on Amazon.
And my website.
And your website. You're amazing. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime. We're going to go back to a session now. So we'll be right back.
You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
There you go. And if you'd like to advertise, again, makeyourdayricher.com/advertise. Advertising. Okay, there you go. I get to go walk my dog now because, like I said earlier, I didn't get up early enough. So I'm going to go walk my dog. And then we've got a couple interviews scheduled through Podmatch, our new favorite website, podmatch.com, for this show. So I've got those this afternoon. So some great, great guests coming up in the next couple weeks and months. I'm interviewing Clementine at noon. I love that name. She's a musician. She has a memoir. And I'm really excited to get to introduce you to her. Okay, there you go. On tomorrow's show, if you have a business, a small business, or a micro business like me, you need to watch tomorrow's show because Maria Stone will be here. And we're talking about bartering and how beneficial that can be for your business. So, for instance, our EcoGlow cleaning commercial is a barter. I give them commercial space. They're going to come on the show and they clean my house. Hello, win-win. And all the amazing things that you can do to better your life, better your business through bartering. It's a really, really good episode. So I hope you tune in tomorrow. Maria Stone. But until then, go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. You've made mine richer by watching the show, and I love you for it. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye.